I found out my girlfriend was dating me to get back at my brother. Now she's begging me not to tell him. When I say this feels like some cruel prank orchestrated by the universe, I mean it. My name is Josh. I am 18, a senior in high school. I go to a pretty normal public school in Pennsylvania. I play varsity soccer. I get decent grades, and there's nothing too extraordinary about me. My older brother Caleb is 21, a junior in college. We were never super close growing up, but not enemies either. He was just cooler, more confident, more popular. The kind of guy people naturally gravitate toward. I was always Caleb's younger brother, which was not awful, just exhausting sometimes. Anyway, last fall, something crazy happened. I started dating her, Emma. Emma is beautiful in that casual way that feels unfair. She has chestnut hair that somehow always falls just right. She is effortlessly cool, a year younger than me, but with a calm, magnetic confidence. Like she was never trying too hard. And yet everyone wanted to be around her, including me. We were not close until we got paired up for a group project in our AP literature class. I remember the way she laughed at my stupid impression of our teacher. I remember thinking it was strange that someone like her was talking to me, not just talking, but actually listening. After a few weeks, she started texting me more, walking with me after class. She would casually touch my arm, joke around, ask questions that made it seem like she genuinely cared. I was falling. I did not want to admit it, but I was. When she finally asked if I wanted to hang out one weekend, just the two of us, I felt like I was dreaming. A month later, we were officially dating. I had never been anyone's boyfriend before. Not seriously. Emma was my first real relationship, and I was completely in over my head in a good way. Or at least I thought so. For 3 months, it was amazing. We would hang out at her house after school, sneak off during lunch, exchange long text messages at night. I told her things I had not even told Caleb. She made me feel seen in a way no one else ever had. When she kissed me for the first time, I swear time slowed down. Then, around mid-January, little things started to feel off. She became more distant, less responsive to texts. Her eyes would glaze over sometimes when I was talking. I assumed it was stress, midterms, extracurriculars, family. I tried not to overthink it, but then I noticed something strange. She kept asking about my brother. At first, it seemed innocent. So what is Caleb majoring in again? Does Caleb still play guitar? Have you ever been to his campus? It was not anything damning, but it started happening more often. She would casually bring him up during conversations that had nothing to do with him. She even followed him on Instagram, then liked his older posts. It felt weird. And then came the night that broke everything. It was a Saturday in late February. Emma said she could not hang out because her mom wanted to have a girls' night. Totally fine. I stayed in, played FIFA, and half-heartedly worked on a psychology paper. Around 11 p.m. I got a text message from my friend Maya. She goes to a different school, but she knows Emma vaguely through mutual friends. "Hey, is that your girlfriend at the loft right now?" I stared at the message for a second, confused. "What do you mean?" I replied, "I just saw her walk in with some older guy. She looked really nervous. Figured it was not you since you hate that place." I texted Emma, "Hey, everything okay? Still with your mom?" No reply. I waited. Nothing. So I did what no sane boyfriend ever wants to do. I opened up Find My iPhone. We had shared locations a few weeks ago casually, during a conversation about safety or something. I never used it, until now. She was at the loft. For context, the loft is a hookah bar that turns into a 21 lounge on weekends. It is sleazy, honestly. Mostly college kids, drunk townies, and some high schoolers with fake IDs. I did not want to believe it. I waited another 10 minutes. Still no reply. I felt like throwing up. Eventually, I called her. She did not pick up. My chest went cold. And then, an hour later, I got a message. Not from Emma, from Caleb. "Hey, was that Emma I saw tonight?" She looked super familiar but did not say much. I froze. Wait, what? Where? The loft. She was with some tall dude in a beanie. They left together. Thought it was weird, figured I would ask. I swear the room spun. My girlfriend, who told me she was with her mom, was spotted with some random guy, and my brother was the one who saw her. But that was not even the worst part, because what came next shattered everything. I did not sleep that night. I kept rereading Caleb's message over and over again. She was with some tall dude in a beanie. They left together. I felt like I was choking on every word. I kept trying to come up with some innocent explanation. Maybe it was her cousin. Maybe her mom canceled and she met a friend. But the way Caleb phrased it, the way Emma completely ignored my messages, none of it made sense. None of it felt okay. The next morning I sent Emma another text. Can we talk today? Please. She didn't answer for hours. I couldn't eat. I just sat on the edge of my bed, scrolling through our old texts like an idiot, trying to figure out where I went wrong. Finally, around 2 p.m., she replied, "Hey, sorry I didn't text. Things got complicated last night. Can we talk tomorrow instead?" I didn't even know how to respond. That was it. Things got complicated. After she lied to me, ignored me, and then got spotted by my own brother. I tried to stay calm. What happened? Please just be honest. She left me on red. I felt something inside me snap. I didn't care how irrational it was. I called Caleb. "Yo," he answered, sounding groggy. "Are you sure it was Emma?" I asked, skipping the pleasantries. There was a pause. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like staring at her, but I'm pretty sure. Brown hair, kinda wavy? Small tattoo on her wrist. My stomach sank. Yeah, that's her. Damn. I didn't realize you guys were still together. Sorry, man. Still together? What do you mean by still? He hesitated. Nothing. I thought you two broke up. The way she was acting, it just didn't seem couple-y. I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. She didn't even say hi to me, he added. Just kinda avoided eye contact. Weird vibe. I thanked him and hung up. I didn't know what was worse, that she might have been cheating, or that my own brother saw it happen and seemed completely unfazed. The rest of the day passed in a fog. That night, Emma finally called me. I stared at the screen for a full 10 seconds before answering. "Hey," she said softly. I didn't speak. I know how this looks, and I should have told you the truth last night. I panicked. About what? My voice cracked. What could possibly justify lying to me? There was a long pause. I ran into someone I used to talk to. It wasn't planned. We started talking again, and you ran into him at a bar you need a fake ID to get into. She sighed. Look, it was stupid. I went out with my cousin and some of her friends, and he was there. It wasn't supposed to mean anything. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But something didn't add up. Why did you ignore my texts? I don't know. I was scared. I didn't want to mess things up with you. You already did. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just said it flatly, because it was the only thing I had left in me. Josh, she whispered. I'm sorry, but sorry didn't fix it. Sorry didn't erase the image of her leaving with some guy while I sat at home thinking she was with her mom. I need time, I said. Don't text me for a while. And I hung up. For the next week, I didn't talk to her. I deleted our chats, removed her from Snapchat. I even blocked her number for 2 days, not because I hated her, but because I hated how much I didn't. Every part of me was still waiting for her to explain something, to fix it, to make me feel like I wasn't just some idiot boyfriend she used to pass the time. Then, on Thursday, Caleb called me again. You got a sec? Not really, I mumbled. I just wanted to say something. About Emma. I tensed. She messaged me. What? Yesterday. On Instagram. What did she say? She asked if I was going to be home this weekend. I felt my stomach twist. And? I said, probably not. Then she sent this super vague message like, I wish things had been different. My jaw clenched. Why would she send you that? I don't know, man. I swear I didn't flirt with her or anything. But I figured you should know. I thanked him and hung up, but my brain was on fire. Why was she reaching out to him? Was that the guy she was with at the loft? Was it always him? No, it couldn't be. Caleb had a girlfriend. He was 3 hours away at college. He had no reason to mess around with my life like that, right? That night, I unblocked her number. You messaged Caleb? She responded in under a minute. I was trying to apologize. I hurt both of you. I thought maybe if I explained. What was there between you two? The typing bubble appeared, disappeared, reappeared. Nothing physical, I swear. But I did have feelings. I didn't plan it. It just happened. My heart dropped through the floor. I didn't respond. She sent another message. I didn't cheat, but I betrayed you emotionally. I know that. I didn't mean to fall for him. I was confused. Confused. God, what a word. Confused was when you forgot where you left your keys. Confused was not catching feelings for your boyfriend's older brother. I never replied, but that night, I sat alone in my car. outside the empty soccer field, and just let myself cry for the first time in years. Because it was not just about Emma, it was about Caleb. It was about knowing that someone I had looked up to my whole life, someone who was supposed to have my back, never even warned me when he saw my girlfriend slipping away. And worse, I wasn't even sure he cared. The following weekend, Caleb came home. I hadn't planned on seeing him. I figured he'd crash at our parents' place, hang with his high school friends, and be gone before I had to look him in the eyes. But that Saturday afternoon, as I was leaving the house to go clear my head, he pulled up in the driveway, windows down, music blaring like nothing had happened. "Yo," he called out casually, stepping out of the car. I didn't answer, just kept walking. He jogged to catch up. "Dude, come on, don't be like this." I stopped, turned, looked him dead in the face. "Why didn't you tell me the truth?" His expression faltered. "What truth?" "You know what truth." He shifted his weight from foot to foot, eyes darting to the side. "I didn't do anything with her, I swear. Not what I asked." Silence. "Did you like her?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "Even for a second?" He sighed, looking down at the pavement. "I didn't mean to. It wasn't like that. But it was something." A pause. "Yeah," he finally admitted. "It was something." I felt my fists clench involuntarily, not out of a desire to hit him, but out of the sheer helplessness flooding through me. "I never acted on it," he added quickly. "I thought it was just a stupid crush. I figured it would pass. And when she started texting you, I told her to stop. I told her it wasn't okay. After or before she said she had feelings for you." He looked away again. "That's what I thought," I muttered. He grabbed my arm. "Josh, I didn't mean to hurt you. I messed up, I know. But I never thought I didn't expect her to fall for you." He nodded, guilt practically dripping from his posture. "I trusted you," I said, stepping back. "You were supposed to have my back. I didn't want to screw things up between us. That's why I didn't say anything. And yet you still did." There was no yelling, no punches, just a long, crushing silence between two brothers who knew things would never go back to how they were. Over the next few weeks, I tried to move on. It wasn't easy. Every place I went to reminded me of Emma, every song, every inside joke, every stupid meme in my camera roll. And Caleb, he stopped texting me altogether. Maybe out of shame, maybe out of relief. School didn't help either. Word had gotten around, probably from someone who'd seen Emma that night at the loft, and soon everyone was whispering. "Did you hear about Josh and Emma? Wasn't she seeing his brother?" It was like living inside a rumor mill that I couldn't shut off. Until one day, it got worse. Way worse. It was a Thursday afternoon when I got the message. An unknown number. "Hey, this is Haley. I don't know if you remember me, I'm Emma's cousin. Can I talk to you about something?" I froze. Why was Emma's cousin texting me? I replied, "Yeah, what's up?" A moment later, my phone rang. I answered, trying to sound casual. "Hello?" "Hey," said a girl's voice. "I hope this isn't too weird. I need to tell you something." "Okay, it's about Emma and Caleb." I braced myself. "They didn't just talk, Josh. I was there that night at the loft. She went there to see him. That whole story about running into him was a lie." I went cold. I know because she told me on the way there. She was freaking out about it, but she said she needed to know if the feelings were real. They talked for over an hour in the back room. Then they left together. Just the two of them. My jaw tightened. "They didn't go home right away," Haley added. "They went to his car." A heavy silence settled over the call. "What happened in the car?" I asked, my voice low. "I don't know," she wouldn't say, but the next morning she told me she regretted it. That she felt dirty. That she made a mistake. That was all I needed to hear. "Thank you," I whispered, and ended the call. Something shifted in me after that. I wasn't angry anymore. I was done. Done with trying to piece together half-truths. Done with waiting for closure. Done pretending like this was some accident that happened to me, instead of something they chose. They lied. They both lied. And now, I had to decide what to do with that. That night, I sat down and wrote an email. Not to Emma, not to Caleb, but to their families, to our mom, to her parents, to a few close mutual friends who kept asking what happened. I didn't go nuclear. I didn't try to burn anyone's life down. I just told the truth. What she did, what Caleb hid, what Haley told me. I told them I wasn't asking for sympathy, just understanding. Because the story going around school? It was wrong. And I was tired of carrying the silence alone. I hit send. Then I blocked Emma on everything. For good. I expected fallout. I expected texts, angry calls, maybe a few people telling me I should have things private. But for a few days there was nothing. Just a strange, eerie quiet, like the calm before a storm. Then, Friday morning, it hit. Caleb showed up at school. He'd driven down again from campus, not to visit family, not to chill, to find me. I was at my locker when I saw him coming down the hallway, jaw tight, moving like a storm cloud on legs, eyes locked on me. I closed my locker and turned to face him. "Why the hell would you email Mom about this?" he demanded, stopping a few feet from me. "Are you trying to destroy everything?" "She deserved to know," I said flatly, just like I did. "She's freaking out. Dad's freaking out. Emma's parents called mine last night. You turned this into a family war." "No," I said. "You did." He laughed bitterly. "You think you're some noble victim? You think this is about truth and justice? You just wanted to punish me." "I wanted people to know who you really are." That hit him. He stepped back a little. "You think I'm proud of what happened? You think this hasn't wrecked me too?" I didn't respond. "You think I don't lay in bed wishing I could go back and change everything? But I can't. And neither can you. So congrats. You dragged everyone into it." "Good," I said. "Maybe now I won't be the only one hurting." That was when he swung. He didn't warn me, just clenched his fist and threw a right hook sloppier than I expected. It landed against my cheek, not hard enough to knock me down, but enough to stun. He stood there, breathing hard. Students were staring now, teachers too. The hallway had gone dead quiet. I didn't hit him back. I just looked at him and said, "Now they really know." He stared at me for another long second, then turned and walked away. Later that day, I got called to the office, principal's office. He'd seen the footage from the hallway camera. "Not gonna suspend you," he said. "You didn't throw a punch, but Caleb's banned from campus for the semester." That was a serious lapse in judgment. I nodded. "I'm sorry," I said automatically. "Not your fault," he replied. Then, after a pause, "I know breakups are rough, but this seems deeper than that." I didn't reply. He leaned forward. "Take care of yourself, Josh. Whatever happened between you three, don't let it turn you into someone you're not." I nodded again and left. That night, Emma called me. I had unblocked her a few hours earlier, maybe out of curiosity, maybe weakness. She left a voicemail. "Hey. I heard what happened, and I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from, but I wanted to say I'm sorry. Again. For everything. You were good to me, and I threw it away. I never wanted to hurt you. I got confused. And I was scared of what that meant. I didn't plan for any of this. But I know that doesn't matter now. I'm transferring schools next semester. Just thought you should hear it from me. Goodbye, Josh." I deleted the message, not out of hate, out of closure. I thought that would be the end. But there was one more twist waiting, one I never saw coming. It happened 2 weeks later, at a family dinner. Our first attempt to sit at the same table since everything. Dad had grilled steaks. Mom was trying too hard to talk about anything but what had happened. Then, in the middle of chewing, my brother said, "I'm dropping out." Forks hit plates. Mom's jaw dropped. "What?" she asked. "I'm done with school," Caleb said, eyes locked on his plate. "It's not for me." "That's ridiculous," Dad barked. "You're halfway through the year." "I know," he said, "but I've been failing 2 classes, and honestly, I've been miserable." Mom reached out. "Honey, I'm gonna take a break. Maybe work, get my head straight." Dad was furious. "This is about the girl, isn't it?" Caleb didn't answer. "You blew up your relationship with your brother for what, a fling? A crush?" Still silence. "You had everything, Caleb, everything. And now what? You're throwing it away because you feel guilty." Caleb stood up, quietly, calmly. "I'm throwing it away," he said, "because I finally realized I've been living a life that wasn't mine. I followed every rule, got into the right college, did what you both wanted." He looked at me. "And I still lost the one person who actually saw me." I didn't flinch. I just listened. He left the table. And this time, I didn't stop him. It's been 3 months since that night. Caleb never went back to school. He moved in with a cousin out in Arizona and started working construction. Hard labor, real hours. Mom calls him every other day. Emma did transfer. She's off social media now. A friend of a friend told me she's seeing someone new. As for me, I kept going. Got accepted into a state college. Took up guitar again. I go to therapy every other week. but I haven't forgiven them, and I don't think I will. Not yet. Not until I believe they even know what they took from me. But I also don't wake up angry anymore. And maybe that's something. The summer before college arrived faster than I thought it would. One minute I was fighting with my brother in a high school hallway. The next I was packing up boxes for a campus dorm 5 hours away. Mom kept hovering while I folded clothes, asking if I had everything. Dad pretended like he wasn't sentimental, but I caught him looking at me a little too long before he left my room. "Text when you get there," he said. "I will." Caleb didn't call, didn't say goodbye, and I didn't expect him to. Orientation weekend was awkward. Everyone was either overexcited or pretending they weren't scared. My roommate Ethan seemed chill. Engineering major, already had a girlfriend back home, so I figured he wouldn't be bringing drama into our tiny space. We went to some freshman mixer the first Friday night. Red Solo cups, cheap beer, 2 loud speakers. It was familiar, in a way. Everyone trying to reinvent themselves in the same 300-square-foot room. That's when I met Hannah. She wasn't like Emma. Quieter, but direct. She noticed things. Asked questions no one else bothered with. Like why I flinched slightly when someone touched my arm in the crowd. "You all right?" she asked, eyes scanning my face like she meant it. "Yeah," I said. "Just ghosts." She didn't ask more, just nodded. And I appreciated that more than I could say. We started walking back to the dorms around 1:00 a.m. Her hand brushed mine and stayed there. Neither of us made a big deal of it. It wasn't love. Not yet. But it didn't hurt. And for the first time in months, I wanted to feel something again. Weeks passed. Classes, clubs, late-night study sessions. I started breathing easier, smiling without rehearsing it. I told Hannah the story eventually. Not all at once, not dramatically. Just one evening on a bench outside the library. She listened, didn't interrupt, didn't try to compare it to anything in her own life. When I finished, she said, "Sounds like they hurt you a lot." "Yeah, and you still haven't healed." I nodded. She leaned against my shoulder. "That's okay." One morning in October, I got a text from an unknown number. "Hey, I know I don't deserve anything from you, but I thought you should know I've been clean 6 months. Therapy every week, and I'm going back to school in January. You don't have to answer. I needed to say it. I'm sorry, Josh." It was from Caleb. I stared at it for a long time. My thumb hovered over the reply button. Then I locked my phone and slipped it into my pocket. Not yet. Over Thanksgiving break I went home. Everything looked smaller. The hallway where Caleb punched me. The table where he announced his dropout. Even the backyard, once a battlefield of toy swords and teenage arguments, now felt distant. I didn't ask about Emma. Didn't need to. Mom only said she was glad I seemed happier. Dad grilled again, like he always did. We talked about college, my classes, Hannah. Then, after dinner, while I was helping clean up, Mom asked, "Would you ever talk to him again, Caleb?" I dried a plate slowly. Maybe. She didn't push. She just touched my shoulder, squeezed gently, and said, "That's all I wanted to hear." The last night before heading back to campus, I found myself walking the old route to the park near our house. Cold air. Dry leaves. I sat on the same swing set where Caleb once taught me how to jump off mid-air without landing on my face. I pulled out my phone, scrolled to his message. This time I replied, "Thanks for telling me. I hope school goes better." No emojis. No anger. Just truth. He responded 2 minutes later. "It already is. I've changed a lot. You don't have to believe that, but I wanted to tell you anyway. I miss you, man." I stared at that last line. I didn't know if I missed him. Not like before, but I didn't hate him anymore. And maybe that was the real win. Back at school, Hannah and I kept growing closer. One night, she asked, "Do you think people can really change?" I thought about Caleb, about Emma, about myself. "I think some people never do," I said, "but the ones who really break, the ones who lose something important, they have a chance. If they want it bad enough." She nodded, then kissed me, and I didn't think about anyone else for the rest of the night. It's been over a year now. I haven't seen Emma since the breakup. She emailed me once, around the anniversary of it all. She told me she was sorry again, that she had no expectations, but hoped I'd found peace. I didn't reply, not out of hate, out of closure. Caleb and I talk now. Not every day, not even every week. But we're brothers again, tentatively, quietly. Not who we used to be, but maybe that's a good thing. He's back in school, studying psychology of all things, trying to figure out why I faked up so badly, he once joked. I told him that was at least better than pretending he didn't. We laugh now. It's a weird, cautious kind of laugh, but it's real. And me, I still play guitar. Still go to therapy. Still love Hannah, though I haven't said it out loud yet. But I will. Eventually. Because pain doesn't go away all at once. Sometimes it lingers, sharp and bitter. But eventually, if you let it, it softens. And all that's left is the space where something better can finally grow. If you like this video, please subscribe for more.